And, for every person who is horrified by it, there will be a dozen more who are intrigued by it.
Right.
And actually, people tend to be slightly horrified and intrigued for the same reason. So he's an interesting and attractive figure. It would be very difficult to actually meet him as a real person. And one of the things you do with those people, especially when people are conveniently dead and can never actually speak for themselves in any way, is they can be kind of dragooned to become symbols for things that other people want to make them. So Aliester Crowley can be, he can be portrayed as a symbol of evil. He can be portrayed as the wickedest man who has ever lived. And at the same time, he can be portrayed as a heroic breaker of boundaries, an iconoclast. And his followers can praise him as a genius, as a great spiritual leader. Someone else can see him as being utterly deprived, the Antichrist himself. Those are the different sort of characterizations that are given to a person, which again, being dead, cannot speak for themselves.
Was he missed when he died, Rick?
By a few people. Again, most people didn't really note his passing. People who believed in him and his ideas. I mean, listen, the one thing I'll say for Crowley, he wasn't one of those sort of spiritual gurus who ever went and told his followers that he was going to live forever, okay, and then turn around and die. There are people who do that. So certainly he was someone who embraced his mortality. He was the heroin addiction, which was hopeless to the day he died, his various other ailments, I think you could fairly say that for much of his life he didn't particularly take care of himself. He was a very sick man, but, hung in there as long as he could. When he died, he was a man who was still surrounded and admired by a relatively small but by devoted group of people.